Well, good morning. I had no intention of starting the vlog here, but I just thought I would share with you this absolutely torrential rain. We've already had 2 days of this weather, this pretty much continuous rain here, and we're on our third day. They are saying that it is hopefully going to start easing late tonight, and then maybe tomorrow there'll be a few showers, but it shouldn't be as bad. But it has been wild weather. It has just, like, this level of heavy rain has been it for, yeah, on our third day now. The garden is loving it, but is making it very difficult to sort of be productive and do things. Case in point, I'm actually still in bed and having my breakfast. But yeah, goodness me, such heavy rain, which I'm pretty sure is very unusual for us at this time of year. Well, the rain has very briefly stopped. They forecast thunderstorms for a little bit later on. So I thought we would very quickly just pop outside in between the rain showers and kind of just see how the garden is going. You can see all the water here, all pooling. But everything is looking okay. I'm sure the garden is loving it, having all of this rain. And so what I thought we would do, given we're probably not going to be getting a lot of gardening done with all this rain, I am actually going away tomorrow night. I'm heading to visit some family. So what I thought we would do for this video is spend the next couple of days together. I'm not sure how much I will share while I'm away, but I've definitely got a few fun things planned, so I thought it would be nice to kind of, yeah, just spend that time together. I thought I'd give you a quick update. You can see already she is loving her new trellis structure. I need to get some wire cutters. There is actually like a small sort of cone shaped trellis under here, which is what she's perched on at the moment. This is a trumpet vine. So I might try and get some wire cutters and actually cut this out so that I can thread this out a little bit better. But you can already see how much she is just so prolific and vigorous in her growth. It will be a matter of weeks before this is completely full of trumpet vine. And I'm sure she's going to be so much happier having all of this space to grow instead of being stuck on this little tiny trellis that she's currently on. So she's looking brilliant. I also thought I'd very quickly just show you the peach tree is in bloom. You can see we've got 2 blooms there. So hopefully some delicious peaches. I did mention, I think in the last video, that I am intending to move the peach tree to another location, but I think I've missed the window. I think I might have to wait until next winter to move it. So the peach tree might be chilling in this spot for this upcoming season, and then next winter we will relocate. It won't change any of the plans for the planting in here. The trees that are going to go in this area are still very small, so it's not going to affect the peach tree at this point. But it's just something that I'll have to pop on the list for next winter, that it needs to be moved. The steel blue flowers have finally come out. Gosh, they're pretty. You can hear the plane. Look at all of these buds. You can hear the planes going overhead. which is actually surprising because I don't normally get planes overhead. I'm wondering if they've been rerouted because of the weather. As I was saying, yes, I thought we might spend just the next few days together and I can kind of share a little bit with you. I want to stop. There's a couple of antique stores that I would love to stop at on the way whilst I'm going visiting. So I thought I'd bring you along for all of those sorts of bits of fun. I know how much you all love the antique stores and that. I want to take you out here to show you the little prince flower. That's an Australian native. It's a Proti and the variety is Little Prince. It's incredible. Gosh, I don't know if it's coming across on camera, but you can hear all the birds. They're out and about very quickly in between all of these rain showers. Everything is looking good in Rose Corner. I've been giving some more thoughts to the Sweet Laguna rose, climbing rose here. And there may be slight change of plans just for this rose. I'm very happy with the Cinderella rose where it is. But yeah, there might be a slight change of plans here. So we'll kind of just wait and see. But otherwise, everything is looking good in between all this rain. I'm sure everything's going to be so beautiful and green and lush. Alright, so we might head inside now. There is actually quite the ominous cloud behind me coming, so we might just pop inside quickly. One thing I did want to show you, one thing I'm trying to do today is I want to finalise processing the ginger and turmeric. So I might do that with you. I promised that I would. So I just wanted to show you that last little bit. We harvested the ginger and turmeric together a few weeks back, and it's just this last stage where I'm sort of cutting it up and getting ready to freeze it, which is how I store my ginger and turmeric. So let's pop inside now and do that. And I won't do the whole thing with you because it'll no doubt take me a couple of hours, but I can kind of show you this beginning process just in case you ever want to grow ginger and turmeric yourself. Just give you some ideas of storage that works for me. Gosh, she's gorgeous. Can you hear all of the birds? That's crazy. Out in between all the showers. All right, let's pop inside. Oh my goodness. I was just walking back into the kitchen and I've just spotted our hyacinth bulbs that we planted together. Gosh, that's probably a month or so ago now, but look how much they've grown. My first bulbs. I've never planted bulbs before. And all of them have come up. I'm so happy. Look at this one. That, to me, looks like a flower starting up. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm so happy. I truly did not know if that was going to work because I ended up having to store them in the crisper in the fridge. Oh, I'm so happy. Maybe I'll leave them out here for maybe another couple of days and I'm going to bring them into the kitchen and pop them on the island there and I'll be able to watch them grow. Oh my goodness. That just looks incredible. Oh, I'm so pleased. So you will recall a few weeks ago, we harvested all of the ginger and turmeric. So that is it here. it's been drying. Look, it's been drying for probably maybe 3 weeks now, which is probably a week too long. But because I was sick, I sort of just didn't get around to processing it. Gosh, now a helicopter is going overhead. It's all happening at the moment. But yes, so we've got turmeric on one side and we've got ginger on this side, just in the event that you are not familiar with them. So this is your ginger rhizome, and then these are your turmeric ones. So if you've been subscribed for a little while, you will have seen me harvest those, and we sort of talked through that whole process. But yeah, so now is the sort of the last stage where I'm basically just going to be cutting them up and kind of in process, kind of peeling them a little bit and then just getting them ready for freezing. And then I will freeze them as kind of like little individual portion sizes. If you can hear that noise, it is because I have a bunch of cooking happening right in front of you. So I've got spaghetti in here cooking and I've got chicken in the slow cooker. So if you do hear some noises, I'm just doing all of my meal prep today. So yeah, so just to give you a quick explanation, that is what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to be cutting this all up and getting it ready for freezing. All right, so I am starting with the ginger, quite frankly, because it's easier. The turmeric tends to stain, so you do have to be quite careful with that. But I just wanted to kind of talk through the process very quickly. So this is a whole rhizome. And so what I do is I kind of just cut it into its natural little segments. So that is what I've done here, is broken it up into its little segments. Now, there'll often be pieces that it's kind of just not worth, processing or freezing. And those little pieces I actually keep. So just to show you a close up, you can see this piece here. And can you see this little bit here? That is actually a growth point. So I will leave this out for this to kind of form a little bit of a callus, and then I will actually replant these pieces because they've got growth points on them. And so this is what will give me my ginger crop for next year. So that's what these little pieces are. And then with the other pieces, I kind of just make, reasonable size. They'll often end up being all different sizes, but they end up looking like that. And then all I do is kind of just take this skin off, and you end up with a little piece of ginger like this. And then with that little piece of ginger, I basically just pop it in a freezer bag and I just freeze it. And then they all kind of end up in there. They're all individual pieces ready for cooking, ready to add to smoothies or, whatever you're making, curries, those sorts of things. So I mainly use them in like juices and smoothies and that. And these sizes are just perfect. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to process all the ginger first, and then I'll show you what I do with the turmeric. Well, hello. It has been a few hours since I spoke to you last. I've now I finished with the ginger and turmeric, and that is all in the freezer and done. And I've been doing some admin and bits and pieces for the last few hours, and so it's sort of quite late afternoon now. And I'm just going to settle down and maybe read for a little bit and have a cup of tea. But we are actually starting to get a little bit of blue sky, so fingers crossed tomorrow we don't have any rain. I mentioned at the beginning that I'm actually going to be visiting over the weekend. So Mum's going to be coming with me, and we're going to be visiting my sister tomorrow night, just for one night. Gosh, you can hear the kookaburras. Just for one night, but she's a couple of hours away, so it's always nice to not have to drive, really long distances when it's bucketing down with rain. So yes, so I'm probably just going to get all cozy here on the couch with my afternoon tea. But before I do that, I did want to very quickly let you know, I don't know if I told you I picked up the Enchanted Greenhouse a few weeks ago, but I wanted to let you know I actually have finished reading it. I finished reading it about 2 days ago, and it was such a beautiful read. If you've read The Spell Shop by the same author, it is set in the same universe, and it's very much a cozy sort of cottage core book, very low angst, just It's such a comforting read. It is beautiful. The characters are gorgeous. The description, I mean, the greenhouse, you all know how much I love my garden. So, having this sort of set with all the greenhouses and, the sentient plants, and it was just such a lovely read. And it's definitely light-hearted, but it's not necessarily like a laugh out loud funny book, but it was just comforting. Like, I just found, your heart is almost happy when you're reading it. So yeah, it was really lovely. Characters were brilliant. I have to say, I almost think maybe it was better than the Spell Shop. I loved the Spell Shop, but I don't know whether it was just the setting, because it was very like garden plant focused or not. Maybe that's why. But I did really, really enjoyed it. I think I finished it in 2 days, maybe. It's not a huge book, but yeah, it was just such a lovely read. So I thought I would just share that with you if you're looking for something very cozy and just lovely. Just a really lovely read. The characters were incredible. There is romance, but there's no spice or anything. But yeah, there's romance and sentient plants and cats with the flying cats and little dragons, and it's magic and found family and second chances, and again, just such a beautiful book, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I thought I'd quickly share that with you. And so this afternoon I'm going to be reading Ian Moore, Death in Le Jardin. I'm a little ways through at the moment, so I'm probably just going to get all cozy and read this for maybe an hour or so, and then no doubt I'll be continuing with the admin. But yeah. And so for afternoon tea, I've just made myself a green tea, and I've got some fresh sort of organic strawberries. I've got a little piece of chocolate, and I've got a homemade chocolate chip cookie. Yeah, that's probably me. And I might say goodbye to you now for today, but I will pick up the camera again tomorrow, and I'm going to bring you along with Mum and I as we sort of head out to visit family. I've got a couple of stops in mind for the way down that I think that you're going to really enjoy, so I thought we would do that together tomorrow. So I will see you tomorrow. Good morning. So as you can see, I'm in the car and we've left home and we are basically on our way. Mum, I'm actually just parked at the moment. So I thought I'd catch up with you and wish you a good morning. Mum has actually just popped out to get her morning coffee before we drive. She's very kindly driving today. And so, yeah, as I mentioned yesterday, we are heading to my sister's for the night just to spend some good quality family time. But on the way, we're going to be making a couple of stops. There is apparently a very large vintage store on the way there that I've never been to before. And I'm kind of on the lookout for some like antique kind of books and things just for like decorative pieces throughout the house. So I'm kind of thinking maybe we could have a little stop there and have a little poke around and just see what they have. And there is also, this is probably going to sound absolutely crazy, but I am kind of keen to start my Christmas shopping. And there is a TK Maxx on the way, so we might also stop there. Oop, here comes Mum. We're going to head off now. Yeah, that'd be cool. So we have just made our very first stop. We are actually at a TK Maxx store. I started to tell you earlier, I have an idea for a Christmas present, and I saw something in a other TK Maxx, and so I thought while we're on the way here, we might just have a look and see if they've got it in stock here. I'll explain it more if they do have it in stock. But yes, we've just popped into TK Maxx and we're just having a little look around. They've got all of their Halloween bits and pieces out. I have picked up one of these cushions. They're like a pumpkin cushion, and I think that they would go really well with like my autumn decor on like the couch. They're so squidgy and soft. But yeah, so I'm just having a little poke around at all of their Halloween bits. I have to say, I don't really decorate for Halloween. I don't do too much at all for it. My particular street doesn't really do Halloween. There are places that you can take, if you've got kids and that, there's definitely places you can take your kids to celebrate Halloween and, you know, that they can go trick-or-treating and stuff, but my street doesn't really do it, so I tend to not decorate for Halloween. So yeah, anyway, I'm just going to little poke around here and see what they have. This one. Oh my gosh. That is the cutest thing I've ever seen. Oh, and see like the little birdies going through there. Oh, it has flowers. And then you can kind of get in through the back to clear it out. That is absolutely adorable. Look at this with the little porch. That's probably easier for birds to get in. Gosh, they're so sweet. Well, we have not really had any luck at TK Maxx. They didn't have what I wanted in here, so I'll have to keep looking. But I'm obsessed with these outdoor rocking chairs. Look, oh, that's a set. Yep. So there's this little table, and then the other one is up here. These are better than the wicker ones. Mum's just going to test it. They're a bit wider and they'd be easier to clean. Is it relaxing?
Yes, it is.
Is it comfy?
Comfier than the other one. You sit in it more. Neutral.
I'm obsessed with this rocking chair set. So you get the two pieces and you get the side table here. I'm gonna have to go find someone and ask how much they are. They're so comfy and the rocking is very relaxing. Ooh, I'm obsessed. So I'm just going to very quickly say we've just come into the antique store and it is massive and absolutely incredible. You would have just seen a bunch of pictures in there, but they have got the music cranked, so I will not be able to talk to you very much in here at all, so I will speak to you again once we get out to the car. But yes, enjoy this absolutely incredible book section. Like, would you look at that? Wow. Okay, so we had some slight success there. Mum was able to pick up like a tray for one of her plants for inside, like sort of like a little, yeah, planter tray, which was very good. They had some spectacular wall art, but unfortunately it was not for sale. They'd had, I don't know if you saw in some of those clips, they'd actually drilled it into their own walls there, which was a little bit disappointing because some of those pieces were really beautiful and would go so well with the art that I have at home, but unfortunately they were not for sale. And I couldn't talk to you too much in there because the music was absolutely blaring. So back in the car now, and what I think I'm going to do is actually end this video here. I'm conscious that it is probably getting quite long, given that we spent a bit of time yesterday together getting the ginger and turmeric all processed, and kind of spent a little bit of time in the garden just checking on it after all of the rain. So I'm going to bid you farewell now, but then what I will do is actually pick up the camera and continue filming, and I will film once we get to Samford Village. And I'll sort of share as much as I can with you of that. So I will see you in Friday's video. And yeah, we'll just have a little potter around the village there. It's a really gorgeous village. Sorry, music. It's a really gorgeous village, and it's got like a little Harry Potter store, and there's antique stores, and yeah, it's really, really lovely. So I hope you'll join me on Friday for that. And then at the moment, we are probably going to have to make a trip to the garden centre as well. So that also might be in the next video. I am still umming and ahhing about those rocking chairs. They were gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So I'm just trying to think of how I can kind of fit them in and how I can get them home, actually, because they're quite big and they don't sort of come flat packed. So I'm debating whether I can jigsaw them into my car in some way. But yeah, anyway, I'll bid you farewell, and I will see you in Friday's video. Bye.